So as I'm talking to you now, Shatta Wale yellow Lamborghini issues, asemono akwakodru headquarters. Now make a headquarters there. Now when you said the queen of comedies of Shwazneger will enter into the issue. Now be no Jonny Hughes ye juma ye TV3 some time ago. The time Kofi Boat Shatta Wale Godfather who bands and sem or dinner no ebetum artist Shatta ebe kan na adwen kire no. Ono so enter into the issues omu nyina no. Omo kire omo adwen. Vibes 24 trends. O first time abani and oba any say oba subscribe to your YouTube channel and send ye be ya update bi e de beba bia no. Onso onsa ebetumi akabi. You run some into details. According to the queen of comedies Afua Schwarzenegger, no, or say the EOCO boss Raymond Archer at the end of the ono Afua Schwarzenegger no eyem kwase asem emano sebe. Now say sade ayen suma no wako na wo ye dia ene emema no John ene say Jonny Hughes ahwan no omo nso no omo ye stolen children brana ebeji omo ko. Nanso no enye no nko a Jonny Hughes some time ago obeka Kofi Boat issue ni hu bi obeka ho asema na o kire mu say eba ne sen ena obi betima tena Ghana say wato Rolls Royce $500,000 wato $100,000 wato say na chese ne nsema na o ka no na chese direct shade to Shatta Wale enam so ma Shatta ba bontin ebeke kan na adwen kire no Jonny Hughes say Shatta was not smart enough the time I authored that particular car no because o kire mu say senka Shatta Wale is smarter and who said the car was a stolen car because and the papers way anyway and a bear comparison nanko they are compare numbers of things I work on nanko who say a stolen car and some of Jonny Hughes air canon very shocking. Now asembako and okan ya causing a lot of controversies on the internet. Ochirebu say ponko abodaman e was in crofo e wone ho no almost around no e was so omunitimi control sa ponko na wabodam no tie nsem a Afua Schwarzenegger edi tu wia na ewia Jonny Hughes nsensem a oka no me de beto aso ama enra mi ha me ba junior te ne be bia mokwa akoche no se ne car e stolen car nanti remonacha yoko for munim se James and John omu ye stolen children mi wia wo mu fi Ibrahim ama wo mu meje wo mu nkoma wo Remonacha wona mo hwehwe de yensuma wo se wiwe die ene James and John mi wia wo mu Ibrahim ama wo ye stolen children wo ba fa wo nkoma wo papa mo de mo si Jimmy galamsefu oku police for ye kidnapping nipa de yensuma mo na mbekwa akure wo Jimmy ni wanim dada fa.
You remember that I said that the FBI was in town. I got insulted for saying that the FBI was in town without mentioning any name. But this morning I'm reminded of a song that the legendary Kojo MP sang. And the song is titled Ponkwa Bodam. There's a line in it that I love. That Asembiara Ebeba Umuno Kachremio na se ponkwa bodama ni raneze on bodam. So wait, if the horse is crazy, the owner of the horse must not be crazy too. So too, they say that a king or a chief must be wise, but his linguists and the elders around him must be wiser, so that if he's behaving like or she's behaving like Ponko Abodama, they can call him to order or her to order. If you are a driver, where you sit, right, where you sit as a driver, you will see that there's a vehicle identification number. If you look at the windshield, right, the bottom left corner where you sit as a driver, if you look out there now, I check your car, maybe you have not paid attention, you see a vehicle identification number. It is a 17-digit, it's alphanumeric identification number. If you're buying a vehicle and you don't check the VIN, you don't check to see if there's a VIN, then you have a problem. You may find yourself in this kind of situation. If you are buying a vehicle and you don't check the VIN, you may find yourself in this kind of a situation. The second thing you should be checking with is whether there's a proper title. And if you're buying a vehicle before you exchange money, the person should show you proper title. The VIN will let you know whether the vehicle has been stolen, whether it has been reported missing and not found, whether all those things, it will tell you. And there's a website for it. I'll show you the website very, very soon. Looking for a Lamborghini photo. And then there's also the portion I was talking about, title. Because if the person truly owns the vehicle, before you advance money, the person should be able to give you the title. And the documents that are presented to you as a title will have the VIN stated there. What you should do as the buyer, if you're smart enough, is to look at the VIN on the document that is given to you and compare it with the VIN on the vehicle. If you are smart, what you should do is to look at that. That is what smart people do. You compare, that's what we journalists do. We verify, verify, and verify again. We do a lot of intensive and forensic work. And then when you check the VIN, if there are any scratches on the VIN, you know that this vehicle has a problem. You will know clearly, straight away, that this vehicle has a problem. There's another website that will tell you whether the vehicle has had accidents, the former owners of the vehicle, and everything that the vehicle has been involved with. Before you advance money, before you put out any cash at all, before you advance any coin, you should know. Now, you should also check with the American authorities if you're buying from America, for example. So the first website you should be checking, right, for your VIN is NICB. That's the National Insurance Crime Bureau. National Insurance Crime Bureau. So you go www.nicb.org/VIN check. It's simple, so I don't want you in such a situation. And then the second website that you should be checking is www.carfax.com. And Carfax will charge you at least $40, and you can use it for maybe the VIN. You can use the VIN for five checks a day, right? And then it will tell you the accidents, the service history, whether the car has been serviced regularly, the odometer rollback, theft record, previous owners, accidents that has been there. It will tell you, it will verify the status of the vehicle. You must ask all these legitimate questions. The model, the manufacturer, the year, the specs. It will tell you all these things. All these are red flags that you should check first before you advance any money to anybody to bring any vehicle. Now, when you check with the U.S. authorities, their crime bureau, National Insurance and Crime Bureau, and they tell you that everything is okay, when the vehicle gets to Ghana, you also check with your MTTD, that's your Police, Motor, Traffic and Transport Department, and then you also check with your customs people whether the documentation you have and the verification you have done tallies with what they have. Smart people do that. So those smart car dealers in this country, you won't find them finding trouble or themselves in trouble. So you check your VIN, right? And then you check Carfax, so NICB, and then you check Carfax, right? Carfax, you pay $40. But VIN, you go NICB, you can check 5 times. You can use it for 5 times in a day. And then when you are finished checking all of these and you are satisfied, you will check with the American authorities and cross-check with the Ghanaian authorities. You don't sneak it in. When you do both checks, you see that when you're driving the car and you are feeling besh, the besh will be feeling you. So if you bought the motor for your mama to know the level, everybody go know. When a man falls, you don't laugh, you learn. You don't laugh, you learn. Now, this first letter I showed you is a letter of explanation. I'll show you another letter. In fact, today I'll show you 3 letters They are all explaining, but as for the explanation, you go explain, you go they tire. Because, they tire. Now let's do some galamsey conversations.
Edutie Jonny Hughes ne nsem a all kana na chese otimu say reference and no make because o chire mu a o se the time obeka asa asem no Ghanaians ene Shatta Wale e be kan o adwen e chire no into afedie wanya Shatta Wale ankasa na o chire mu a o se Shatta was not smart enough the time I water that particular car no because people say obeje no na o se hwehwe we na nka wo hu say the car is a stolen car or not na so no wantimi anya sa into hu ne say Shatta was not smart enough. And Jonny Hughes in a way, no, I can adwin a shady Shatta Wale ye patches enye asem ketwa. Higher vibes 24 trends. First time abani ade oba so subscribe to your YouTube channel. No, don't forget so share your video no ama afoforo so aba abehwe bi.